Hey everyone, welcome back to Soulshine Kitchen. On this episode, we are keeping it real fast and easy. We had requests for an idea for a lunch that would be warm and fast and fairly easy to put together. So I have one for you, and it happens to be kind of a variation on one of my favorites. I love keeping extra grains around when I make them for dinner, like quinoa, always, or I really like farro, which I don't have right now. But today I'm gonna show you something I would do with that grain bowl, and I'm gonna do it with a different grain. I'm gonna do it with oatmeal. We're gonna do a savory oatmeal with garlicky spinach, mushrooms, and chestnuts. Ooh, you are gonna like it. This is different from your typical sweet oatmeal that you might have in the morning with bananas or fruit or put in a smoothie. This is a savory oatmeal, but it was well worth checking out. And it happens to be really great for a meal to throw an egg on. So we're gonna do that as an option at the end. Okay, so a few things before we get started. This is gonna come together really quick. You barely have to chop anything but garlic. And you could even make that faster by just using garlic powder, skipping the garlic altogether. They also sell like marinated minced garlic. I really like the raw stuff because I find it very good at fighting off germs. But do you, that's not for everybody. You know what I mean? In addition to varying the grain, like with the quinoa or farro or whatever is your favorite, I highly recommend you always do that in some kind of broth. Today we're using a vegetable base. I'm in the light. It's better than bouillon paste and they're delicious. They come in organic. This one isn't. They also have this mushroom one. So both of those would be vegetarian. And then of course they have the chicken, beef, all the meat stuff too. I keep several on hand. I try to because they're so useful. But it's going to give your grain a lot more flavor, as it's going to give this oatmeal kind of more of a savory flavor over that sweet flavor. So it's going to help us build that with some veggies and some chestnuts, which you can get near the produce section, and it's usually kept in one of those open refrigerators. It's probably the most expensive item in this dish, but you use just a few and they give such a nice flavor and texture to the dish. So I love to add them, but you could omit them and it would still be equally delicious. Last but not least, I want to talk about the mushrooms I'm using. Today I'm using shiitake. I've already taken the stems off, but I've saved them because a trick to maybe making your own vegetable stock is to just save all of these stems, broccoli, what do you call it? Stems? The chunk nobody wants to use, not the flower. You can use all of those, typically compostable or what might be garbage for some. You can put that in a stock and it can be garbage later. It can be compost later after you get more of the flavor out. A thing with mushrooms, do not wash them. They're so absorbent, they're like a sponge, so they'll just take in all that liquid and you're gonna lose the flavor. And by the time you put it into your saute pan, it's going to have lost its flavor. It's gonna be like mushy. We wanna keep some of that texture. Also, if you are somebody who likes to wash things really well because of dirt, mushrooms might not be your thing, but I will say, the dirt is important. The skins of things, root vegetables, these are like the healthiest things and you should keep the skin on. That's where most of the nutrients is going to be found. Plus that contact with the soil, assuming it's healthy soil, which we can get into later about gardening, you can help control that. And by working with local farmers, you can help to control that. But when it's exposed to healthy soil, you are eating something that is even more nutrient dense on top of eating the skin. there's nutrients in the soil, in dirt. My point is, dirt's not totally bad. And I would encourage you to leave skins on and maybe wash them, but not the mushrooms. Don't wash the mushrooms. Okay, so let's get started. So before we throw our spinach in, that's going to be our last element to our sauteed vegetable little mix. I want to get my oatmeal started because it comes together pretty quickly and I want everything else to still be hot when it's done. So I also wanted to mention before I do that, that I tried it with miso paste as well. And I really liked that. That might have been my favorite. My husband's favorite was the vegetable base. Then today I realized I had this mushroom base and I'm really tempted to try it with that now. And since I personally tried it with both others, I am gonna try it with the mushrooms because like, duh, that just makes so much sense. Oh no. What is it with me and like lids? Okay, got it. You know what? It's a good thing I came to it because there's only so little left. It's like a cup of this water. I think it's a cup. A cup, yes, it's a cup, is equal to a teaspoon of the bouillon-based paste. So we're gonna get this started. We're gonna mix the paste and the water. And I'm gonna play with the water. I have about 6 ounces set aside. I may use it all. I may use a little less than all of it. I'm not sure yet. We'll see. Okay, we're ready. I have my oatmeal and I put a little pat of butter in it, which you don't have to do, but it richens it up a little bit and everything in it's so healthy. And you know what? I love butter. Not regular butter. I don't like conventional butter. Grass-fed butter has a special place in my heart. So I do it. You can omit it very easily, no problem. All right, so I have all my veggies here and I'm just gonna like put them in. And then I'm gonna throw an egg on it. Okay, so you could stop right there and you'll be perfectly happy. This is delicious. I like to throw an egg on everything. I'm gonna make an over easy egg, which I just highlighted recently. And I'm gonna throw that on top. And I just had like sudden, oh my gosh, this would be so good on top. This crushed Calabrian chili pepper mix. It was a gift. There it is. It was a gift from a friend and I'm almost to the end of it. So when I find out where to find it in Pittsburgh, or if you can order it somewhere, I will let you know, because it is delicious. It's gonna add a little spice, so if you don't like spice, don't worry about it. You can also add some just crushed red pepper if you do like spice, but you don't have that. All right, I think our butter is almost ready for our egg. Grab my little egg. Grab my little eggy. Okay. I can tell because my butter, or if you use something else, you like olive oil, I'm using my grass-fed butter. It's my ride or die. Once you see it start bubbling a little bit, getting a little bit that color to it, you're ready. All right, so I'm gonna crack it in, and it's gonna be fast because I've recently shortened the time that I like to cook these. I'm gonna throw it down. I hope this is a good one, because I'm not doing it again. But as I wait, I'm going to tell you what I'm looking for. I'm looking for little crispy edges to start forming, so that I can tell it's solid enough to flip. It's not going to fall apart on me. And I do like a little bit of crispness just around the edges. It's a nice little extra texture. Almost forgot. We got to throw some salt on that, because eggs without salt. If you have to do it for low sodium diets, but if not, don't do it. Do whatever you want, you know? Do whatever you want. Take this, do whatever you want with it. Use different vegetables. Use a different, topper. Try different spices. Do you know? All right, I'm gonna find a spatula. I see it. 1 second. This is my favorite one. It's metal, and it gets under there nice and clean. If I use a wooden one, it's tricky. So I'm just gonna test the edges around here. Starting to move a little bit. It's getting close. Let me show you. Okay. I'm gonna go ahead and flip it, and when I do, I'm gonna turn off my heat, and I'm gonna count to like maybe 5. I might stop before. It's like a feeling. All right, so here we go. Nice and easy. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And I'm taking it off. That's it. It's so fast. All right. Get over here. This is beautiful. It worked. It worked out for you guys. So I'm going to show you the delicious little yolky that comes out. Our savory oatmeal bowl with garlicky, spinach, and mushrooms, and I threw an egg on it. You could do it with a different grain. You could do it with different vegetables. Just taking oatmeal and making it savory is interesting, but it's delicious. And I realized I never really take a bite of anything myself, which I'm like, they always say don't trust a chef you never see eat their food. So I'm gonna take a bite. It's gonna be hearty enough to last you to the next meal, but it's not gonna leave you tired. It's not heavy. It's got tons of vegetables, tons of nutrients. It'll be good to go. Thanks for joining me for another episode of Soulshine Kitchen. I'll see you next time. This was gonna be lunch, but I had to take a quick detour because I needed to have a good cry, because pandemic. But this could be dinner now. This is really gonna be satisfying.